Karl, we're back today, and it's very clear in these early days of Wiki Weekends, as a channel, that people like Spider-Man.
They do like Spider-Man.
So I figured, let's talk about another Spider-Person today.
Are we just, is this going to be you talking about One Piece and Spider-Man until we run out of One Piece and Spider-Man? Because I'm alright with that.
Maybe there's going to be some, My Hero in there as well at some point, but, mainly, it might be an excuse for me to talk about just Spider-Man and One Piece.
So Spider-Man Saturdays, let's go.
So today, Karl, we are just talking about a Spider-Person, but we're not talking about a Spider-Man this time.
Okay, so who is the Spider-Person to which we are referring?
So we are going to be referring to both Penny Parker and the spider suit that Penny Parker is within.
So is this the Spider-Person from the Into the Spider-Verse? Yes,
it is indeed. Yes. So there will
be like the anime girl.
It is the anime girl, basically. Yes, and that's quite literal. We'll get into that, but do want to say, the character is in Into the Spider-Verse, and we're going to be talking Into the Spider-Verse spoilers, but then not Across the Spider-Verse spoilers. So we're going to stray away from talking about Across the Spider-Verse. I also know there's a couple of Across the Spider-Verse characters that people have suggested. Guess what? There might be a sequel coming out next year that we might be saving some of those characters for.
Yes, it's not blow our load all in one go. Also, we just request, kindly, if you've seen Into the Spider-Verse, or Across the Spider-Verse, sorry, don't spoil it for people who maybe haven't, which includes me and Lucas. If you want to talk about it, just say it's good.
I mean, I have seen it.
You have seen it, okay. I've not yet, no.
Oh, right, okay. So, yeah, Karl couldn't spoil it if he tried, then.
Yeah, well, no one's gone to see it with me.
I'm sorry, Karl.
That's the thing, I want to go to the cinema. I've not seen Guardians 3 yet, either.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
So I'm still waiting for no one wants to go to the cinema with me.
I'd have gone, but we don't even live in the same city.
We don't, no. So if you like, comment, subscribe this video. If you comment enough so we can get some more money, me and Lucas can
I can
see
take
each other
Karl.
You can take me to the cinema.
Watch Across the Spider-Verse.
Should we make that a bonus thing? When we get to 20,000, Luke still take me to the cinema, and you'll just film it like you're taking me on a day out. Do you like those videos of girlfriends dragging their boyfriends to this to the beach? Mm-hmm. Do one of them. It's just me watching into Across the Spider-Verse,
and just hopefully enjoying yourself, because I'm a big fan of Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, and one of the reasons that I decided to talk about this character, other than the fact that, Spider-Man has proven to be a very popular topic so far, and for good reason. Spider-Man's one of the most popular superheroes of all time, and
of course, yes,
we are eating good as Spider-Man fans lately as well.
Yeah, it's not like those Batman fans.
Yeah, it's not like the DC fans where it's like, we're trying to stay positive.
It's like you just sat here as a Spider-Man fan. I'm drowning in Spider-Man shit. But there's just so many Spider-Man. There's an entire film that's just here's 50 Spider-Man. Let's go. Drink it up.
So one of these spider people is indeed Penny Parker. Mm-hmm. And quote from Penny Parker here is, and when I say spider, it's capital S, capital P, / lowercase
Drive.
D, lowercase r.
Yeah, so it's Spider
it's
Drive.
Spider. So that's how I'm going to refer to the character.
Mm-hmm.
We're called Spider, and we protect the city. Like my father, a soldier who died in service of his people, we will be this until terminal failure.
So it's her thing, if I'm recalling correctly, is that she hasn't, unlike all the other Spider-Man, she's not been bitten by a radioactive spider. It's that she works with a spider? Is it like a spider controls the mech suit?
That's how it's portrayed in Into the Spider-Verse, the movie, is that there's a girl, Penny Parker, and she can telepathically link up with a spider that controls the mech suit that she sits inside.
That's anime as fuck.
I'm
all in. I'm all in.
Current alias Spider, and because they've only really appeared in one comic book, we haven't got any band names. I do enjoy the kind of leet speak way they do Spider. I appreciate that though.
Mm-hmm.
And then the affiliations are Oscorp and the Spider Army.
Thing is that even if I didn't know that was like a multiversal Spider-Man army, I'd still be scared of someone like, well, I've got the Spider Army on my back. If someone just talk like every now and again, like, you know, you're doing your Reddit scroll, you'll see like something like quite meta, like very meta. A video of a spider will get out of like the sub that it's in, and it'll be like a giant spider. I'm like, fuck that.
Well, funny you should say that, because that reminds me to talk about the fact that many comments let us know in one of our previous videos about a character that
is a living suit of spiders,
is just a suit of spider. And, you know, no doubt we'll probably cover them at some point, because that does sound metal as fuck.
It does, but I bet their wiki entry is like 5 words. It's like a paragraph long.
That's the issue with a lot of these, is because Penny Parker is a cool character that I wanted to talk about, but
with a strong design as well.
Is a very short wiki page, and even then, we're going to be covering the spider suit as well as Penny Parker. So I literally had to compile together 2 small wiki entries to basically make one episode, because there's not much to the character because they've only existed in one comic book.
Well, just from that one comic book and, like, you know, her one film appearance, when she first appeared and I saw, you know, they have like the Spider-Man Noir and the Spider-Ham introduction. I saw her introduction, went, that's fucking sick.
Yeah.
She could get a movie. I would watch a movie with this character in it. Like, you know, if they kept that tone, that look, that visual flair and style and presentation, I would watch a Penny Parker movie.
Well, have you seen what Penny Parker looks like in the actual comic books?
Oh, I brought all the picture of it now, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I googled it to look at the pictures and, like, she looks sick.
It's a very different design, but it's also super cool and anime looking.
It's like so anime, in fact, that I bet the reason that she doesn't like that in the film is because of a certain rights holder would not allow them to make her mech look like that, because that is a fucking Evangelion mech.
Maybe we'll get into that.
That is so obviously an Evangelion mech.
Relatives, parents, unnamed father, deceased, unnamed mother, deceased. Yep. And then, of course, Uncle Ben and Aunt May.
What's the name of the spider? So he's called, like, Jeff.
Maybe it'll tell us. And then one interesting thing is that I was not aware that the original creators are Jake Wyatt and Gerard Way.
Yeah, because, like, obviously when the movie came out, Into the Spider-Verse, I mean, there was, like, those articles of, like, oh, meet the various spider heroes in this film. And one of the things I saw is, like, oh, yeah, Penny Parker, created by Gerard Way. I'm like, wait, the My Chemical Romance dude?
Who's also the Umbrella Academy guy.
Yeah.
Just the more I find out about Gerard Way, the more things I'm like, oh, you also made this thing that I love. That's cool.
Yeah, you did 3 cheers for Sweet Revenge, Penny Parker, and Umbrella Academy. Fucking sick. You go, Gerard Way.
Hell yeah. And that was just one of the reasons why I was like, oh, I found out Gerard Way did Penny Parker. It's like, that's rad as shit. I love Gerard Way. That's cool. And Penny Parker was like a really cool idea as well. And I'm very glad that Gerard Way is able to create these fun things and also come back as My Chemical Romance so that I can see them live finally. Like, it's all coming together, Karl.
Oh, you'll never stop pissing me off that you saw them live and I didn't. As discussed in a previous Wiki Weekends podcast.
Of course, yes. So we'll go into the history. And when Penny Parker was 9, her father died piloting the spider suit. And she was 9 years old and her father died, but the father's still unnamed. Poor guy. Didn't get any love in this comic, but
it's not important, is it, I suppose?
I guess not. Superheroes don't need parents, as we know, Karl. Penny Parker was informed by her Uncle Ben and Aunt May that she was the only person able to carry on the project at 9 years old, and accepted the responsibility, allowing the radioactive spider that formed the other half of the spider's CPU to bite her. So she did get bitten. Okay. That is still part of the thing, but she's not the spider person. It's like a combo character.
Yeah, the bite from the spider doesn't give her superpowers, it gives her the ability to interact with the suit.
Yeah, it gives her like the neural link to the spider and the suit, yeah. 5 years later, when she became 14, Penny came into conflict with a supervillain called Mysterio. Somebody that we all are aware of, hopefully.
I bet he looks so hilarious in the anime-inspired universe.
I
bet he looks like a dipshit.
Yes!
Go on, send me the picture.
I'm sending
Copy-paste the picture, I want to see it. I want to see how much of a dipshit Mysterio looks like in this anime universe. He looks like what is with that sex predator walk?
He just doubles down on the fishbowl.
Yeah, why is he going in with like the? I'm on my way to just like touch people. Reaching out is weird. Like he's got the proper like sex creep going on. What's that about?
Oh my god, yes. He was piloting an enormous orb and infecting the people of New York with hallucinogenic gas. Just a giant fishbowl in the sky.
See, if I was doing that and I was like the hallucinogenic gas, I'd make the orb just say like, "Go buy Mysterio branded crisp packets."
Buy my plushie now, available in stores. Pulled out of class by Daredevil, Penny was informed that Mysterio was cooperating and had exposed an illegal biological enhancement ring.
I wonder how he did that. Did he fly around the city in a giant fucking orb, like poisoning people with it? I like that to say he accidentally uncovered. It's like, what do you mean accidentally? He went out and infected like 800 people while flying around in a fucking Mysterio blimp.
Anyway, after helping Daredevil subdue a gang, Penny decided to take the subway home, where she was confronted by Peter Porker and Ezekiel Sims, who informed her that the spider totems were being hunted and killed. Deciding to trust them, Penny retrieved her armor before setting off alongside them.
To go into the multiverse to kick some fucking ass. And I love that there's like the spider totems that are just,
I wasn't aware of the spider totems.
I think the spider totems are, it's just, there's like core Spider-Men. So they talk about like, Spider-Man has like, he exists in all universes. And they start Peter Parker's like the ultimate Spider-Man.
I clicked on it and it's like, this term spider totem refers to a class of multiversal supernatural entities created by the elder goddess Neith, linked to a mystical force called the Web of Life and Destiny.
Imagine like telling Spider-Man that in his first week.
Yeah, that's this 14-year-old girl's just, taking out Mysterio, going about life with Daredevil, taking out a gang, and all of a sudden it's like, quick, the spider totems and the web of mystery and all. It's like, oh my god, what's happening? After the events of Spider-Verse, Penny was approached by Addie Brock, who is the Eddie Brock equivalent, in class.
That's a good way. I'm guessing that's like female Eddie Brock then.
Yes, that's female.
There we go. That's a good way of doing it. Addison Brock. I like that.
And they were asked if she was the pilot of Spider. She avoided answering, walked away, and then they both had an argument about why Addie asked.
I like that. She didn't even come with an excuse. Just no.
You know what?
That makes you look so much more guilty.
When you're a 14-year-old teenage girl, like, that makes sense. I'm walking away from this conversation.
But how much more guilty does that make you look? So are you Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm.
Sleeves.
And then when Penny arrived home, she overheard Uncle Ben and Aunt May's discussion of the sim engine and questioned them about it. Frustrated by their vagueness, she angrily went to her room. When Penny and Aunt May were working on modifications to Spider, Penny saw Addie walk past the door and decided to follow her and discovered the VEN #M suit. And it's the Venom suit, and it's like,
how much does that look like how much does that look like an Evangelion enemy? That's just a screenshot from Evangelion. Send me the picture of the Venom suit. That's legit. I think that's not like, legally distinct. That's like a letter from someone's lawyer of like, cut that shit out. Like, we know you like Evangelion, but this is not a series that needs to be homage. People know what the fuck Evangelion is. Make something original. That's so close.
It's real close. It's very, very close. So yeah, she observed Uncle Ben talking with Addie, and she finds out that Addie is the pilot of the Venom suit. An alert went off that Morbius, Morbius, like M.O. was sucking New York of its power. So this version of Morbius, he's a power vampire.
To be fair, that could be the version of like Morbius in our universe, where he sucks so hard that the entire city's like, fuck this. Like, what sucks harder, that Morbius or the Jared Leto Morbius?
Oh god. Spider was deployed. Penny refused help in her fight against Morbius and was overpowered. And then Venom was deployed. Addie lost control while fighting Morbius. And it's Aunt May went to Addie to prevent the sim engine with Venom from exploding, but then both are assimilated into the suit. Uncle Ben then rerouted the power into Spider, and she then defeats the Venom, only to find that both Addie and Aunt May are completely missing. That's terrifying. They both tried to just one tried to pilot and one tried to help, and both of them just got eaten from the inside of the Venom suit and just are gone.
Like, here's the thing, maybe we shouldn't put children in these things.
Maybe not.
Just a thought. Maybe people who aren't allowed to legally buy beer shouldn't be allowed to pilot war crimes.
Yep. Afterwards, Penny and Uncle Ben had a talk about the incident as well as her father, until they were interrupted by Peter Porker, who recruited her once again.
Does Penny ever get a day off?
Just stop grieving, Penny. Stop.
Like, let the poor girl have a fucking day off.
Spider-Ham come in, like, fuck you.
Her entire backstory is, like, okay, so 9 years old, parents dead. Okay, now go solve crime in a suit. It's like, I can't even,
my dad just died. It's like, no, you're the only one who can do this.
I'm at an age where I can't even go out on my own to buy milk. And you're going to give me a war crime spider suit? Do you know what the joke I always make when I play with Vengeance, where I call, like, Metal Gear Excelsius the war crime spider? This is literally a war crime spider.
I clicked over to the spider suit.
Okay.
To talk about, the Into the Spider-Verse version of it, where it just gives a brief description of the suit over there. But trivia for the spider suit, Carl. Can you guess the one piece of trivia about the spider suit?
It's based on... I don't know what the robots are called in Evangelion. It's been years since I watched it, but I know what... I looking that's an Evangelion.
The spider suit was based on the Evangelion units from the anime series Neon Genesis Evangelion.
There we go.
Really? No shit! Oh dear. I like that that's got to be... Because obviously it's wiki entries. Someone might not know. But as somebody who knows what an Evangelion unit looks like, holy shit, that's an Evangelion suit.
I will say it's about I think that's as close as you can get. That might be the closest to you are ripping it off I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I quite like the design of the other suit in Into the Spider-Verse, because
it's the orb.
It's just the orb, and we can talk about it here in Earth 14512B. This model appears as a One Piece capsule. We're not talking about One Piece, but every time I see the words One Piece now,
it's just in your head now, yeah.
The anime intro starts. So it's a One Piece capsule cockpit topped with a dome-shaped one-way visor, with the inside providing Penny Parker a view to the world, within and the outside displaying various electronic faces, such as anime-related emoji expressions.
I really like that detail.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that it can emote, like Zero does, do you know, in Borderlands?
Yes.
Like where Zero can emote a like holographic display of like a smiley face or something like that. I really like that detail on the Spider-Verse
really
one.
Enjoy it, but how many times have we seen things like Watch Dogs try to copy it, and it's like, okay, now it's become such a generic design of regular man wearing mask that projects the expressions onto the face or whatever, but it is a cool idea, and it looks really cool on the spider suit.
Like, here's the thing, if you're not doing it as good as Daft Punk did, I'll never forget, I think it was like one of the MTV Music Awards. What Daft Punk were there, do you know when Get Lucky came out?
Yes, yeah.
And do you know when they cut to like reactions from the crowd? They kept cutting to Daft Punk for reaction. It's like, they've not got faces, they're wearing robot suits, but they kept cutting to Daft Punk for reactions. It's like, they didn't move, because they're in character as fucking robots.
Yeah. Does the robot approve? The robot's just sat there with a helmet on, like...
Yeah, that's the thing, they kept cutting to them for reaction shots. Like, what are you expecting them to do?
I would have loved it if they had just a couple of little emojis that they can put as reactions, or a thumbs up.
They can do that apparently. I love when I found out that the Daft Punk helmets have got air conditioning in them.
They need to, right?
Just the idea. I'm just imagining like you sat next to one on the bus or something. You just hear. It's like the air conditioner spins up. Well, it's like
Oh dear. The inside has also got a snack compartment. The suit uses magnetically manipulated appendages for versatility. It can shoot lasers from its fingers, and it can weld various objects, such as when it fixed a USB drive. The suit was severely damaged, but Penny managed to rescue the radioactive spider from within it. When she returned to her dimension, she is shown rebuilding the spider suit. There's no powers and abilities, because I guess
the powers come from the robot suit.
Are the robot suit, but it does have the paraphernalia of the spider suit, which just links to that other page. But then, the weapons on it are wrist-mounted web shooters built into the spider suit. And that's all it says for the spider suit here. But the power grid we've got both in and out of suit. So, out of the suit, she's got an intelligence of 3, a strength of 2, a speed of 2, a durability of 2, an energy protection of 2, and fighting skills of 3.
Okay.
And bear in
How
mind,
does suit enhance those?
that scale is 1 to 7 if people aren't aware, and 1 is about a regular human, and 7 is like godlike levels. But
yeah, it's logarithmic.
Yeah, so it's always exponentially growing. But that means a 2 and a 3 in everything is pretty good for just a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah, it's that thing like this 14-year-old girl will fucking like fold you like an old wallet.
And then in the suit, she gets a buff of, she goes up to a strength of 4, a speed of 3, a durability of 5, and an energy protection of 3, which means that the fighting skills are as good in and out of the suit. It's like, yes, Penny Parker.
Yeah, it's just that now she's fighting in a robot suit that can lift a city bus.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't actually increase her skills because she's the one piloting the suit and telling her what to do.
It's just that now she's got the like enhanced durability, strength, and speed that being in a giant robot suit would naturally afford.
Which is pretty badass, to be honest.
It's baller as fuck.
I not only a mech's cool as fuck, but a Spider-Man mech. That's awesome. Can you imagine the power of if we dropped a Spider-Man spider suit into like Titanfall 2?
That's the thing though, mate. I'm surprised there's not been a reference like Leopardon. You'd think, wouldn't you? At some point they're putting like, people don't know Leopardon is the robot that Japanese Spider-Man gets. Mm-hmm. The infamous Japanese Spider-Man where he just uses a fucking gun. It's like, which is like Spider-Man with a Tommy gun's already terrifying, but then he's got Leopardon, and it's like a robot suit comes in. You think they'd put like a nod to Leopardon in there somewhere, wouldn't you?
Or the Spider-Man motorcycle that he drives and whatever. Like, yeah,
the Spider Cycle, yeah.
And we can move on to some trivia here where it does let us know that Penny is of Japanese heritage, of course, because you couldn't do the Neon Genesis, like Evangelion bullshit and not make them just the anime Japanese person.
I just say, can you imagine like making a piece of media where you like directly invoke the imagery of like Japanese anime, and then have that anime thing be controlled by a fucking white dude, and then imagine calling it Ready Player One. Like that's the thing. I remember in Ready Player. If anyone's not read the novel and they've just seen the film, in the novel, which like I'm using like that's doing a lot of heavy lifting here. It's not the RX from Gundam. It's Leopardon and I think something else. I think it's like Mechagodzilla.
All right.
And the main character gives it to one of the Japanese characters and says, "It belongs in Japanese hands," and then bows to them. It's like, fuck you. And then in the movie, it's like the RX, and it's like that. Apparently, that single shot of the RX costs so much fucking money to get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was Spielberg himself had to go negotiate because like, we're not giving it to anyone. We're not giving you the RX. And it's like, no, we need it. We can't get like what is in the. We can't get Leopardon. Can we please get the RX? Like, no, fuck you.
And looking at that movie, they probably should have stuck to their guns and just said no. But more trivia here for you, Karl. Penny is a vegetarian.
I guess like you kind of have to be by default, don't you?
Do you have to be a vegetarian if you're Spider-Man?
I guess if you're Spider-Man, where you're like reliant on a connection to a living creature.
Maybe. Yeah,
like when your powers come from like a living creature that you communicate with, and the ability to like read its thoughts would suggest that it'd be really difficult to justify eating meat when a spider's got a personality.
Yeah, true.
It's like there's I think Beast Boy. We talked about like Titans on like previous episode, where he's vegetarian in every interpretation. When he gets asked like, "I've been most of the animals that you eat."
Yeah, true. It says here a different terminology, so I'm sure the comments have already corrected us one way or the other, but the pilot suit she wears is inspired by the plug suits from Neon Genesis Evangelion. So, yeah, it called them Evangelion units earlier, but now it's calling them plug suits, so...
We could have just called them anime costumes. That would really piss everyone off. From those funny Japanese cartoons that aired on Toonami.
I can't believe that they stole the design straight from Titanfall. It's ridiculous.
I will never stop being mad at that Titanfall April Fool's thing. That was like, oh yeah, April Fool's. It's like Optimus Prime's in Titanfall.
Oh no!
And they were like, they actually thought that people would be like, they'd think that joke was funny. It's like, no, we're just pissed off. You're not putting fucking Optimus Prime into Titanfall 2.
Mm-hmm. You can't tease people with a good time like that. It's not fair. And then finally, several of Penny's classmates are actually references to characters from mecha anime.
Oh yeah, fucking weebs, let's go.
And I'm going to mispronounce a bunch of shit now.
Do it. Mispronounce them even harder.
Such as Key from Dirty Pair, Simon from Tengen Topper Gurren Lagann, and Asuka Langley Soryu, Rei Ayanami, Kaoru Nagisa, and Shinji Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion. So I got a bunch of that right and wrong.
I'm glad that you said that and I didn't.
But that is a cool way to just be like, oh, hey, clearly this is reference to an anime. Let's put in some other references to like some cool mecha
cute.
Anime. It's cute.
It's just like, I can't believe how on the nose it is. Like, it feels like to know that it was like written by like, it feels like one of those things when you look at that, like, just sometimes where like manga artists or like comic artists will draw someone else's thing in their style. Would you like when the God of War team to celebrate the release like Horizon Zero Dawn drew like Kratos hanging out with Aloy? Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like, oh yeah, we got this famous manga artist to draw Spider-Man in our style, but then it's like, no, it's Gerard Way did it.
It's one of those of like, yeah, the actual design of the mecha in the comic is a bit on the nose, but I really like just the idea of Penny Parker, and I think also that Venom idea of like just how does the symbiote suit fuck up people in this universe? It's like, it just eats you while you're piloting it. It's like, oh shit. Yeah, that's just summing up Penny Parker right there. Just like a really fun, cool idea, and yes, maybe a bit on the nose with the references, but nonetheless,
I didn't realise it was that close. When I saw that picture, I was like, that's... Whew.
Yeah, and as I say, I'm glad they went with the more unique-looking design into
it would have been distracting.
It would have been, yeah.
It legitimately would have been distracting to look that close to something else.
How cool would it be, though, is, the Japanese Spider-Man makes it into Beyond the Spider-Verse, and then you get this moment where they're knocked out of Leopardon, but then Penny Parker is like, don't worry, I've got this.
Yeah, I've got experience
jumps in and starts meching it. So that'd be cool.
No, what I want is them to do it with more media. Like, I want to see like anime Batman who just has a gun. I just want to see like every iconic comic character done in the Japanese Spider-Man style, where they just give them a gun.
People have already proven on the channel that you're enjoying us talking about the Spider-Man characters, because why would you not? It's Spider-Man. But yeah, let us know in the comments who your favourite Spider person is.
Yes.
And let us know if you want to see more of the, covering the different Into the Spider-Verse characters and Spider people, because there's a lot of them.
There's so many. There's an entire movie full of them. There's so many they could make a movie where they all fight.
So if you'd like to see us cover more of them, then let us know in the comments. And thank you all for watching.
And check you all next time.
Yeah.